Good morning, students. Am I audible? Are you able to hear my voice, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we have seen about PN junction diode. We started with PN junction diode in equilibrium. Equilibrium is without I'm going to apply any voltage. Can anybody summarize what will happen when you leave PN junction diode in equilibrium, so that we can have a quick refresh of whatever we have seen yesterday? What will happen if you leave a PN junction diode in equilibrium? What will happen? What is the first step which will happen when you leave, when you join P and N layer and you leave it? What will happen? Anyone?
Outside the p-type negative charges will be created, sir, and outside the n-type positive charges will be created
Okay, because of what those realignment will happen? Because of what
because
phenomenon? Because of you have
concentration gradient.
yeah,
Concentration, sir.
because of concentration gradient, or you call it as a diffusion. In diode, you have only two things, drift and diffusion. Here, we are not applying any electric field, you are not applying any voltage, so drift is ruled out. So only possibility is diffusion. So because of diffusion, some holes from P type will go to N type, some electrons from N type will come to P type. So you have a possibility of forming a potential barrier. And this barrier will look like a battery. I told you, negative, positive. It will look like a battery, and it will have two voltages. You see, we have seen it is 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.72 volt for silicon. And this will happen as long as you leave the diode in equilibrium. So this will not be disturbed as long as you leave the diode in equilibrium. Okay, and we have seen the different cases. In if you are going to use an abrupt or alloy junction, this is going to be the charge density. It is completely constant positive negative charge in P and positive charge in N. And if you are going to use a graded junction, this is going to be the density profile. It is going to increase and then decrease. An electric field, we have seen it is negative, and voltage will be, as you cross the P region and go to N region, the voltage is going to be positive. And this breakdown barrier potential you will have V naught presence across the PN junction diode. And we have seen that the depletion region is only 0.5 mm thick, and there are so many names for depletion region. It is called as depletion layer, space charge region, or transition region. So many names are there for the depletion region. And this depletion region, it is called so because it is having no mobile charges. It is depleted of mobile charges. So you cannot expect current to go inside the PN junction diode. And with this, we have derive an expression for the depletion layer with W using the concept of charge density and Poisson's equation. And I think we have seen this yesterday. We applied the boundary conditions, we have integrated twice, and we want the value for C and D. So we applied the two boundary conditions and we got the expression for C and D. Then we got V1 for the P type. This is for the P type depletion in the depletion layer in the P side, and V2 is going to be the depletion region in the N type. And when you subtract that, you will get the total voltage V naught equal to V2 minus V1. Why V2 minus V1? Because V2 is positively charged, V1 is negatively charged. Always positive charge minus negative difference in voltage is going to be the potential difference. So we got this as the answer. And when we apply the charge neutrality equation, we got this as the answer. We got the answer from this. We are going to see this is V naught, the barrier potential. You can see barrier potential depends on NA and ND. And X1 and X2 are going to be the width on the both sides. So depletion layer width on both sides is going to determine the barrier potential. And to find X1 and X2 depletion width, we use the charge neutrality equation. We find what is X1, X2, and X2 minus X1 is going to be the potential depletion layer with W. So W equal to X2 minus X1. The X1 and X2 are having square root, right? So if you subtract, you cannot simplify. So I will find W square. So square both sides, W square will be equal to X2 minus X1 the whole square, or I can write X1 square plus X2 square minus 2 X1 X2. So when I subscribe all those terms, this power half will go away. And when I simplify, I get the expression for the potential barrier width or depletion layer width is going to be this one. And you can see the depletion layer width depends on V naught power half. So the more the potential barrier potential voltage, the depletion layer width is going to be more. It's going to be higher. The potential barrier width voltage is less, the depletion layer width is also going to be less. For germanium, I can say since V naught is only 0.3 volt, the depletion layer width will be small. For silicon, since it is 0.7 volt, depletion layer width will be slightly higher than what it was present for germanium. Okay, so we have seen till that in yesterday's class. Okay, so now we are going to see what happens in a forward bias condition. Okay, what happens in forward bias condition? Forward bias is very simple. Remember, logically, we are not going to by heart anything. Forward bias means you're connecting the same polarity of the battery outside P and N. You know, P layer has lot of holes. So I'm going to connect P to positive of my battery. See here, and the N side is going to have lot of electrons. So I'm going to connect negative of the battery to my N side. This is called as forward bias. And already you have one potential difference inside. It is zero point 0.7 or zero point 0.3 volt, zero point 0.3 volt for germanium and zero point 0.7 volt for silicon, right? So already we have a potential barrier inside. Externally, I'm going to apply a voltage. Remember, forward bias, P positive, N negative. Same polarity I'm going to apply. What happens if I apply this? What happens inside the diode if I'm going to apply this type of battery connection to my diode? How will the holes and the electrons in the P and N type react? Can anybody say? How will the holes in the P type and N type react to the external battery? Holes are positively charged. It is connected to positive end of battery. So what will be the force? It will be attractive or repulsive force?
Repulsive, sir.
Repulsive force. So where will the holes try to go? The holes cannot come this side because they experience a strong repulsive force. So only possibility is they have to cross this barrier potential and reach the negative of the battery. That is the only possibility you have. But for crossing this barrier potential, you need energy. That energy has to be supplied from the battery. Okay, and already you have a potential of point. Assume I'm going to use silicon, so 0.7 volt is there already. So unless you give energy more than 0.7 volt, this holes cannot cross this region and go to the battery. So till the battery is reaching 0.7 volts, the holes cannot move. So once your battery reaches 0.8 volt, for example, this additional energy of 0.1 volt is acquired by these holes and they will cross the barrier potential and they will reach the negative end of the battery. Similarly, it happens for electrons also. So as long electrons are considered negative under the battery, it experience a repulsive force. So electrons cannot come out in this way. So electrons need to come out and go to the positive end of the battery. For that, they need additional energy to cross the potential barrier. So same way, unless this value of battery is less than 0.7, no mobility of electrons or holes happens. Only when it is slightly more than 0.7, the additional voltage is picked up by the electrons and holes. They will cross the barrier potential and they will try to reach the other end of the battery. You know, when electrons are going to reach the positive end of battery and holes are going to reach the negative end of battery, you have current flow happening inside the PN junction diode. Is that working clear? Remember, don't see, you should not by heart what is forward bias. Forward bias means I'm going to connect the same type of potential to the surface. P type means holes. So I'm going to give positive connection. N type means electron. So I have to give the negative end of the battery to my N type region. So that is going to be the connection. And one thing you should remember, the impact of barrier potential, because unless you give anything less than barrier potential, nothing will happen because no additional energy is given. Only when you give voltage more than the barrier potential, electrons and holes will cross, leading to what is called as forward bias current. Okay. See here, under forward bias current, under forward bias condition, the holes are repelled by the positive potential and electrons are repelled by the negative potential. So they cannot move on either side. So only when the potential is more than the applied, more than the barrier potential, some movement of electrons and holes will happen. Holes will move this side, electrons will move this side. That happens only when this battery supply is more than the potential difference. Otherwise, there is no action expected from the diode. So see here, when the forward voltage, this is Vf is what you give from the battery. So when Vf is less than V naught, V naught is the barrier voltage. When the applied voltage is less than V naught, the current is almost zero. So you see the current is almost zero. It is 0.3 for germanium, right? So only when you give more than 0.3, the current will slowly increase. See here, it is for germanium. Vf is the battery. Okay, the power supply what I am going to use, and IF is the forward bias current. And same way for silicon, you see, unless it reaches 0.7, it is almost zero. Only when it crosses 0.7, you get a beautifully increasing current. When you give more potential, we have seen, right, more energy means electrons and holes will be easily crossing the potential barrier, and it is going to contribute to hole current, electron current and hole current. So see here, when as long as the voltage is less than the barrier potential, the potential barrier will prevent the flow of charge carriers on the either side. The moment you increase it beyond the barrier potential, the barrier potential completely disappears, and you can expect the electrons to flow from N type to P type and holes to flow from P type to N type. See, the barrier will not completely disappear. So as you increase the voltage, what you supply, the barrier potential, barrier width slowly decreases. At one point, the barrier completely disappears. Barrier na, it is an obstacle, right? So the obstacle overcome பண்ண முடியும் when you give additional energy. So in forward bias, the barrier width will keep on decreasing as you increase the voltage, because the electrons and holes will acquire more energy and cross the depletion region, resulting in large current flow in the external circuit. So in the forward bias, the two condition you have to analyze. One condition is before the barrier potential, after the barrier potential. Before the barrier potential, kanna mudita answer is going to be zero, because electrons and holes don't have the energy to cross, right? After the barrier potential, two things you have to observe. One is the current flow happens because of electrons and holes. Second thing is the barrier the depletion layers decreases. At one point, the depletion layer becomes a straight line. After you increase, even if you increase the voltage more than that, even that straight line disappears. The depletion layer completely disappears inside the PN junction diode. This happens in forward bias characteristics. That's what you see. It is given here, and this 0.3 volt or 0.7 volt, it is called, denoted by V gamma. It is given by this notation V gamma. Okay, V gamma. V gamma is called as barrier potential or cut-in voltage. Cut-in voltage means the voltage above which the diode starts conducting. So it is nothing but the barrier potential for silicon and germanium. For germanium, it is 0.3 volt, and for silicon, it is 0.7 volt. So it is so many names are there. It is called as cut-in voltage, or it is called as barrier potential. Anything you may call it, the meaning is same. So as long as whatever supply you give is less than this value, the diode will not work. So at the cut-in voltage, the barrier potential is overcome and the current will slowly increase. So diode starts conducting only after the cut-in voltage, 0.3 for germanium and 0.7 for silicon. This is the forward bias characteristics of the diode. If any doubt in the forward bias characteristic, anybody is having doubts, please unmute yourself. And these are basics which you need to have thorough understanding. I again say we have seen two things: equilibrium condition, potential barrier is formed and no current, because there is no supply what I am giving. In forward bias, I am going to connect in such a way that the electrons and holes are going to cross the depletion layer easily by applying voltage. And that too, you have to apply voltage more than 0.3 and 0.7. That is the barrier potential voltage. Less than 0.3 and 0.7, how much ever voltage I am going to apply, my device will not produce current. Or I can say the current produced by the device is going to be zero. Ideally zero. Practical, very, very few microamps of current will be flowing. ஏன்னா சார்ஜ் கேரியர்ஸ் ஆர் தேர்ல, ஸோ கொஞ்சம் அதெல்லாம் மூவ் பண்றப்ப மைக்ரோ ஆம்ஸ் கரண்ட் இருக்கும், பட் ஐடியலி த கரண்ட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பி ஜீரோ. ஓகே, எனி டவுட்ஸ் இன் ஃபார்வர்ட் பயாஸ்? I'll pause for a few seconds. You can ask.
Sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, how are the electrons and holes are reproduced in this, the PN junction?
Reproduce means?
Like if holes and continuous movement, so there'll be depletion, right? So how are they reproduced again, sir?
See, once they cross to the other side, they will again come back, right? So electrons, they are coming to the positive end of the battery. They will cross the battery. Again, they will come to end side. So holes from P side, they will go to negative end. They will again come to the positive end and again come back here. This positive end will repel the hole, so the holes will be again pushed into the P side. So in this way, they are reproduced. See, battery is nothing but a device which has a potential different size. Inside the battery, you will have positive and negative terminal. So when electron is going to come to the positive terminal, it will be definitely pushed to the negative end. And negative end will repel the electron, so the electrons cannot go back to the positive side. So they will be naturally going to the N side only. In that way, the charge is continuously produced and current is continuously obtained in the diode.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else is having queries? See, what should be your understanding is, as and when electrons and holes reach the opposite end of battery, you should not think they die up. No, they will continuously circle inside the semiconductor. That's how you get constant current, right? You see that the current is increasing. The electrons and holes are dying means the current should decrease, right? That is not happening. The current is constantly increasing. So which means that even inside the battery, the charges are pushed to the other side. So electrons are attracted and come to the positive end. But inside the battery, the electrons are pushed from positive end to negative end, and they cannot come back. So negative end electrons in the negative polarity. So it will produce a repulsive action. So the electrons will be pushed away from the battery. They will again go to the end region. And this process repeats and repeats and repeats, giving rise to increased current when you are going to increase the voltage applied to your diode. Okay, that is how the thing is happening. So forward bias, two things you have to remember. The diode is going to conduct only after the cut-in voltage. Cut-in voltage is the barrier potential. It is 0.3 volt for germanium and 0.7 volt for silicon. And under forward bias condition, how will you connect? I'll connect, remember P for P. I'll connect P region to positive end of battery, N region to negative end of the battery. And what will happen to depletion layer? The depletion layer width keeps on reducing and becomes zero at some point. So three important observations you have to note down in forward bias characteristics. Okay, now reverse bias. So what should be the how will I'm going to connect in reverse bias condition? Can anybody say? How will the connection be in reverse? I told you forward bias, same connection, P for P and N for N, P for positive and N for negative. What should be in reverse bias?
P should be connected to negative and N should be connected to
Yes,
positive.
it is exactly opposite, Ray. See the diagram. P should be connected to the negative, N should be connected to the positive. So now, what is the because of this connection, what is the effect on the diode? How will the holes and electrons behave when you connect this way?
It will be attracted, sir.
Very good. Holes are attracted towards the negative end, so they will start moving away from the diode. Electrons are attracted towards the positive end, they will be moving away from the diode. Because of the charges moving away from the diode, the depletion layer will increase. See, forward bias நடக்கிற அதே thing தான் reverse biasல it will be happening in the inverse way. Forward biasல the electrons and holes did not come out. They were instead crossing the layer and going. But here the electrons and holes are coming out from the same layer because I'm connecting P to negative and N to positive. So since the charges are moving away from the depletion layer, the depletion layer width will increase. So remember when the depletion layer is going to become more and more broad and thick, it is difficult for the charge carriers to cross. See, ஒரு ரிவர் இருக்கு. The ரிவரோட width வந்து 500 meters. I can cross it easily. When I cross, it will take, say, 20 seconds if I cross it in a bike. The same river, if the width is 1 kilometer, it will take longer time for me to cross and I need to have more energy, right? Same concept here. In the depletion layer, width is very, very small in forward bias. My electrons and holes will jump and run away. And when the forward bias, I told you at one point, the depletion layer becomes zero. So it is very, very easy for electrons to run across the layer and go with easily with less energy. But here you see, because of the movement of charge carriers away from the P and N layer, the depletion layer is going to grow. When the depletion layer is going to grow, it is going to be making job tough for the electrons and holes to cross it. The holes வந்து இங்க cross ஆகி இங்க வந்து other endக்கு போயிட்டு it will again go here. But when it comes here, the holes find the depletion layer thick and they cannot cross the barrier. They will be stuck up in the N side. They cannot cross the barrier because the barrier is broad and thick, and only when you apply a very high voltage, this barrier can be crossed. Okay, see here, under reverse bias, the majority carriers from P side will go to negative end of battery, and the majority carriers from N side will go to positive end of the battery. This bias is called as reverse bias. Here, since your charge carriers are moving away, the width of the depletion layer is going to increase. So you have, when the width is going to increase, you have a strong electric field present across the reverse bias junction. The electric field will be in this direction. I told you electric field will always be starting from positive charge. It will be ending at negative charge. So a strong electric field will be developed across the PN junction in reverse bias. Okay, because of charge movement away from the charge movement of the carriers away from the depletion layer. Since the depletion layer is going to be very, very thick, it prevents the flow of majority carriers in both directions. So theoretically, when the charge carriers are stuck up, no current will flow inside the diode in the reverse bias, because in the depletion layer cross பண்ணிட்டு current flow பண்ற அளவுக்கு electrons and holes will not have that much energy. So ideally, if you see, no current should flow in the circuit and the diode is reverse biased. But in practice, what happens? Some electrons and holes, they absorb some additional voltage and they cross the barrier and go. Not all electrons and holes. Some electrons and holes, they attain additional energy and they cross the barrier potential and go, which is called as the reverse bias current. But it is not practically possible for all the electrons, because the available voltage is very, very less. So reverse biasல ஐடியலா உங்களுக்கு வந்து current flow is zero, but practically they say the current flow is in the order of very, very few microamperes. Normally current flow in the diode in forward bias in the order of milliamperes. Reverse biasல microamperes. Can anybody say, if I want current flow inside the diode in reverse bias, what should I do? What should I do if I want to get current in a reverse bias condition of a PN junction diode? What should I do? What should I do? You are able to understand the difficulty. Even though the electrons and holes are moving away from the depletion region, they cannot cross the barrier because the barrier is very, very wide and the barrier is very, very strong. You cannot cross the barrier and go. If I want to cross the barrier, only if you cross the barrier, you get current, correct? So if I want to make them cross the barrier, what should I do? What are the options I have in my hand? What should I do? Think and say.
Increase the voltage.
Very good. One option is increase the voltage. Yes, I'm increasing. I'm giving 5 volt, no current. I'm giving 10 volt, no current. I'm giving 15 volt, no current. Ideally, I am giving 1000 volt. Only when I give 1000 volt, that much voltage is required for the electrons and holes to break the potential barrier and cross it. But when I apply 1000 volt to my diode, the diode will be damaged, or I will say in technical term, it is broken down. So the voltage at which the diode is broken down is called as breakdown voltage. After the breakdown voltage, you see, even in reverse bias, the current will start increasing exponentially. But on the breakdown voltage, the current measure from the diode irukadu. Because the diode is a very small device, it cannot withstand very high voltage. Is this correct? Logically, as you said, when I increase the voltage, I have to expect current. But that current is not available at low voltage. The current is available at very, very high voltage only because the potential barrier is very, very thick. That is the reason when you apply voltage close to 1000 volt, you expect reverse bias current starts flowing inside the diode. But அதுக்குள்ள என்ன ஆயிடும்? The diode will be completely broken down. It will burn off or it will break into pieces because such high voltage is not withstood by the diode. So that is that voltage 1000 volts, for example, what I told here is called as the breakdown voltage. Above the breakdown voltage, the current will increase enormously in a reverse biased PN junction diode. தியரிட்டிக்கலா இதுதான் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். ப்ராக்டிக்கலா நீங்க இந்த வோல்டேஜ் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா டயோட்ல கரண்டே மெஷர் பண்ண முடியாது. Because the breakdown voltage is very, very high and the current will also be very, very high, which cannot withstand your PN junction diode. So one way of producing current in reverse bias PN junction diode is apply high voltage to the diode, which is not logically possible. Okay, so when you apply very high voltage, what happens? That's high voltage is acquired by all the electrons and holes, and they will cross the barrier. Even with that high voltage, they cannot cross the barrier easily because the barrier is long. So they will take some time to cross the barrier, giving rise to what is called as reverse saturation current, I naught. So reverse saturation current depends mainly on junction temperature and the minority carriers, which are thermally broken covalent bonds. So this reverse saturation current flows inside the diode in a reverse biased condition. You will not call it as a reverse bias current, you call it as a reverse saturation current. ஏன்னா சேச்சுரேஷன்னாலே மீனிங் வந்து எனார்மஸ் குவான்டிட்டி ஆஃப் கரண்ட் வில் பி ஃப்ளோவிங் இன் த ரிவர்ஸ் சேச்சுரேஷன் கேஸ். ஐடியலா நம்ம வாட் டிட் வி சே ஐடியலி? If ideally in reverse bias current should be zero, but practically current in the order of microamp will be flowing inside the diode for a voltage less than breakdown voltage. When the voltage reaches breakdown voltage, that microamp current will become milliamperes current. Okay, so in the thermal energy, in the high voltage, what we give is sufficient to break the covalent bonds, and all the electrons will be crossing the barrier as a group. So in the reverse biased PN junction diode, this is the phenomenon happening. Okay, so these electrons which are acquiring these additional energy will hit all the electrons, making a large number of free electrons, which is called as an avalanche. Avalanche, you know, right? Avalanche. How does an avalanche get formed in a glacier? One sheet of ice will collect all the sheets of ice, and at the end, if you see, it will be a huge sheet of ice falling from top of the mountain to the bottom, right? Same way, one electron will hit another electron. Those two will hit remaining two. Those four will hit remaining four. So in this way, a huge number of free electrons is formed, that is called as avalanche of electrons. And this avalanche of electrons, when they cross the barrier potential with a huge amount of energy, at that point you call it as a breakdown. So at that point, the breakdown happens inside a reverse bias semiconductor. Any doubts anybody is having in the reverse bias characteristics? So what else you should remember in reverse bias characteristics? The depletion layer width is more. When the depletion layer width is more, the charge carriers cannot cross the depletion layer easily. So you need to pump more energy. So you have to give more voltage to the diode. When you give more voltage, avalanche of electrons are formed, which will cross the depletion layer, leading to what is called as breakdown. After breakdown, the current will increase enormously inside the PN junction diode. That is what you should remember in a reverse bias characteristics. So ideal diode, you see, So ideal diode means forward bias, till we are considering silicon. Okay, we are considering only silicon. So till 0.7, your current will be zero in forward bias. After 0.7, the current will be exponentially increasing and the voltage will be constant. இங்க பாருங்க graph is straight மேல போகுது. The current is increasing, but you see the voltage will remain constant across the diode in forward bias. Reverse bias, I don't draw the current because I assume the current to be zero. Okay, in the forward bias, you see, as the voltage increases, current will increase, but the voltage will remain constant. In the reverse bias, the current remains zero. We are not considering the microamp current also, and in the reverse bias, the current is going to be zero. See, forward bias, the current is high. So when current is high, what does it mean? The diode is going to offer a very, very small resistance. By Ohm's law, when current is going to be high, resistance is going to be very, very small. So in forward bias, the diode is going to offer a very small resistance. In reverse bias, since the current is going to be ideally zero, it is going to offer a very high value of resistance. So PN junction diode, proper bias பண்ணீங்கன்னா, I can even use that as a diode under forward bias and reverse bias condition. Forward bias, it is going to have a very, very less amount of resistance. In reverse bias, it is going to have a very, very high value of resistance. So that is what is given in the PN junction diode characteristics. It is called as ideal IV. Yeah, IV na I is along y-axis, voltage is along x-axis. Always for diode, voltage will be along y-x, current will be along y. IV we call it as because first to y-axis, then x-axis. IV characteristics nale, the forward bias la, remember current will be increasing, voltage will be constant. Reverse bias the current is zero, so I will not draw anything in the reverse bias characteristics of my PN junction diode. That's what is depicted and it is shown here. Okay, so that is what is described here. And see here, very simple, an ideal in a forward bias diode, it will be the biasing is given and you can draw the diode like this in a forward bias condition. This is the symbol of diode. Okay, it a triangle followed by a straight line. Okay, it is the symbol of the diode. So the triangle will indicate your P region and this line will indicate your N region. This is the symbol of the PN junction diode. Positive forward bias, you see P to P, P to positive, N to negative. Reverse bias, you see P to negative, N to positive. So instead of drawing this PN everywhere, you can replace this PN by this is the symbol for your diode. A triangle followed by a straight line. This is the symbol of your diode. Okay. So wherever you find this symbol, this is, you should assume a diode is present inside that circuit. Okay. And the same is explained forward bias. The same with a very short voltage, you can get large current, but reverse bias, how much ever large voltage you cannot you cannot produce the current. So forward bias diode is considered to be an on. The diode or switch in assume the diode is off when you apply reverse bias voltage, and the diode is on when you are going to apply a forward bias voltage. உங்க வீட்டுல we will be using switches in our house, like switch போட்டா fan ஓடுது, which means that switch on பண்ணோனையும் a current is a connection is established and current is going to flow. உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் current always needs a closed path for flowing, right? So when you put on the switch, a closed path is established and current is going to flow through the fan and fan is going to run. When you turn off the switch, the closed path is disconnected and the fan will be off. Same way here, when the diode is going to conduct in forward bias, it is called as on switch. When the diode is going to be used in reverse bias, no current is going to flow, so it is called as an off switch. And the reverse bias current, we call it as minus. It is flowing in the opposite direction. It is called as minus I naught. I naught is called as reverse saturation current. Okay, I naught is reverse saturation current. IR is called as the current in reverse bias. Okay. So I naught, we know that it is a reverse saturation. And typically you see this value of I naught is very, very small, 10 power minus 14. And it may be 10 power minus 9 if you increase the voltage. So 10 power minus 14 na romba kammi. It will is less than pico. and 10 power minus 9 means it is nano. So the current in the reverse bias is very small. And the another ideal we have told that the current in reverse bias PN junction diode is going to be ideally 0. Okay, this is the energy band structure of PN junction diode. P region, N region. So P region the conduction band, ரெண்டுத்துமே conduction band valence band இருக்கும். And you know that in N region, the Fermi level is close to conduction band. So EF வந்து இங்க இருக்கும். In P region, the Fermi level is close to valence band. So the Fermi level will be here. It will be a constant level across the PN junction diode. Okay, and this is the depletion region where இங்க ஏன் பெண்டா இருக்குன்னா this actually gives the path for the electrons to flow. So this bend indicates the path for electrons to flow. Okay, here also you have the conduction band, valence band, conduction band, valence band. And in N region, the Fermi level is close to conduction band. So conduction band is just கீழ இருக்கும். In P region, it is just above the valence band. So if you see as a straight line, the Fermi level will be looking as a straight line. And this is the barrier potential, E naught, corresponding to the barrier voltage, V naught. Okay. So that is what is given here. You see that Fermi level is constant throughout the system. The conduction band order Fermi level, the N region of the Fermi level and P region of the Fermi level is overlapping. It is on the straight line. So we have seen that the Fermi level is constant throughout the region. It is constant throughout the thing. So if under equilibrium, nothing will happen. Only when you have voltage applied in forward bias and reverse bias, the shifting of the Fermi level will happen, and accordingly you will have the conduction of current and holes giving rise to current. Okay. The Fermi level is close to conduction band edge in the N type. You know it is close to valence band edge in the P type. It is clear that the conduction band is higher than the conduction band in the N type. So P type, if you see the diagram, actual conduction band is very higher compared to the Fermi level in the P type. அதே மாதிரி Fermi actual conduction band is very high compared to the Fermi level in the N region also. So we have seen in what one similarity you see is the conduction band energy level is very high compared to the Fermi level in both N type and P type. That is what is shown here. And notations you see, it is VP, EV, EC. EV is valence band, EC is conduction band. Suffix P put P type. அதே மாதிரி see here you see EVN, ECN. So EVN is the valence band for N type and ECN is the valence band for P type. And energy band gap, I'm dividing it exactly into half, EG by 2 and EG by 2. Here also EG by 2 and EG by 2. Okay, I'm dividing that equally into the thing. Okay. So now we are going for a small calculation. So the forbidden energy gap E naught will be equal to E1 plus E2. Where is E1? E1 is here and E2 is here. So I will add E1 and E2. I'll get this energy. I will get the value of forbidden potential E naught. So E naught is equal to E1 plus E2. So this E naught should be same as difference in conduction band and energy band in N type and P type. So when you subtract the conduction band energy in N and P, that should be equal to E naught. When you subtract the energy band in EV and P and N type, you should again get back the same E naught because the law of conservation of energy has to be obeyed. So from the diagram, you can see EV minus EVP. When you find this difference EV minus EVP and ECN minus EF, I can say that should be exactly equal to half of EG minus E1. So see EF minus EFP, valence band Fermi level higher. So I'm subtracting EF minus EVP. So EF minus EVP equal to half EG minus E1. Same way ECN minus EF equal to half EG minus E2. So when I combine both the equations, I know that E naught equal to E1 plus E2. So when I subtract that, and when I'm going to apply the mass action law, NP equal to Ni squared, if I'm going to apply, so this is the value of E naught I will get for the PN junction diode. E naught is going to be the forbidden energy potential. So E naught is KT ln ND Na by Na square. ND on the donor number of atoms, Na on the acceptor number of atoms. Na is going to be the intrinsic concentration of my intrinsic conductor. Number reference எல்லாமே intrinsic தான். So from intrinsic only we are deriving extrinsic, right? So I can derive the expression for E naught as KT ln ND NA by NA square. From E naught, I can find the potential V naught. So E naught equal to Q into V naught. So V naught equal to KT by Q ln ND NA by NA square. Can anybody say what is KT by Q? What is KT by Q? We have seen about this KT by Q. What is KT by Q?
Thermal voltage.
Very good. KT by Q is thermal voltage. It is given by the term VT. So V naught equal to VT into ln ND NA by NA square. ND is donor concentration. PN junction, you will be having one side will have donors, one side you will have acceptors, right? So the product is taken KT by Q ln ND NA by NA square. So from this, I can find the barrier potential of the PN junction diode. From barrier potential, I can find the barrier energy level. E naught equal to Q into V naught. Okay, so this is going to be the equation which is used to find the barrier potential of the PN junction diode. So, initially, we have derived the expression for V naught, right? So we have derived from the forward bias characteristics. So see this expression also can be used, and this expression also can be used. This both will give the same answer. This one we are deriving it from the PN junction diode structure. That one we are deriving it from the depletion layer width on both sides. Okay, both are going to give you the same answer only. Okay. Now we'll go to the next part. Okay, I think it is current analysis. So I think will not have time to complete if I start it today. Any doubts so far in today's class? If you have, you can ask.